right, so as you come to a seat there, nice and comfy, yeah, take any movements that you need in the head, the neck. Allow the eyes to softly close whenever they're ready. Maybe even shrug the shoulders up towards your ears. Allow them to fall down your back. And with your hands just resting on your thighs to start here, take a deep breath in all the way to the top. Feel your chest expand. And then exhale, you empty, you land, maybe with a little more ease. Do that one more time. Take a deep breath in all the way to the top. You fill up, expand, even in your belly. And breathe all the way out. And just keeping your eyes closed here, just start to feel yourself possibly transition away from places of constant distraction or constant stimulation, where your mind is pulled from task to task or notification to notification. And can you just allow the only task here to be the art of observing? So just observing your breath, watching it or noticing it or tracing it as it draws in and out. Maybe observing how your body feels. Maybe there's points in your body or places in your body that might feel a little bit stagnant or stuck, or even maybe full of a little bit of pain or sensation. And then rather than reacting to it, can you just observe it and take a deep breath in? And a calm breath out. And just notice how your body responds when you take a bigger breath. So because today is the winter solstice, it's like the time where it's like the darkest day of the year. It's a good time to like turn inward and start to just observe. Maybe take note of what it feels like to rest, what it feels like to pause. All the while knowing that there is more light, literally more sunshine, just around the corner. Even though we're entering that season of winter, we all think and view it as this time of dreariness, of stagnation. But how can you use this time, this rest, this moment of pause for good to set that foundation before you move into this new season where there's more light? So rather than viewing it as only darkness, how can you view it as opportunity? Maybe the first thing that comes to your mind is like spending time with yourself. Or spending time with those, like quality time with those that you're able to be around, those that you love. Setting that foundation for bringing in more light. Take a deep breath in right here just to lean into that concept. And a long breath out to empty. Take one more like that. Breathe all the way in. Trace your inhale to the top. Breathe all the way out. Trace your exhale all the way to the bottom. And of course, you can stay here as long as you need to in a seat. If this feels good, if this feels grounding, if it's exactly what you need, you stay. If you're ready to move a little bit more, go ahead and blink your eyes open. Take any movements that you want to take, and then you'll remove your blocks and place them to the top of your mat, if you have those blocks underneath you. And you'll actually meet me in downward facing dog. So if you want to take any other movements to get there, maybe it's a cat-cow, maybe it's just like lateral movements side to side on your hands and your knees. Maybe you roll the ankles a little bit after that seat. Maybe you roll the wrists to warm them up. But over your next breath or two, you'll lift your hips up and back and soften through your knees. And maybe even pedal out your feet once you're in that down dog. Taking your feet as wide as you'd like them to be, but spread your fingers wide apart so you can keep that firm base in your hands. And then whenever you're ready, just take a big breath in right here, but I want you to think about filling up the back side of your body with breath. And then a deep breath out, you empty all the way out to the bottom. Now you'll rise up to your toes, and I want you to bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, either tiptoe your feet up or take two big steps to get there. You're gonna land in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Nice soft knees, dropping your head, maybe sway your hips side to side. You can even place your hands on those blocks if you have them right in front of you. Now bend your knees a lot and let your head be the last thing to rise as you slowly roll all the way up to standing. We call this Tadasana, mountain pose. So heel toe your feet just a little bit closer, right underneath your hips. Flip your palms forward to feel your chest, your collarbones broaden. Take a breath in, fill all the way up. Rooting down as you exhale. And then starting to move a little bit more. You'll match movement with breath. Inhale, reach your hands high, breathe in, palms can even touch. And then use your exhale to bring your hands to your heart as you fold forward, hinging at the hips. Halfway lift, take a breath in, your heart goes further forward. And then take a big step back with the right foot. Big step back. You'll drop your right knee down. Use the inhale to reach your hands up and overhead. Breathe in to rise. And then exhale to bring your hands back down, framing your front foot. Tuck the back toes and lift the knees. Step back, downward facing dog. And then use your inhale to pull forward to plank as you breathe in. Knees on or off the mat. Lower all the way down to your belly. One breath to lift the heart. Find cobras. Your chest rises. And then exhale to lower, finding the ground. Press through your knees and find downward facing dog. Hips up and back.
want you to stay here. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. And when you're ready, lift your right leg up and back. And then start to step your right foot to your right thumb. Your left knee will drop, sweep the arms high, breathe in to rise up. And then exhale, hands come down, framing your foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, look forward. Use your exhale to step left foot up to meet the right. Halfway lift right here, flat back with your spine. And then exhale to fold, bow the chest, and drop the head. Sweeping the arms out and up, you'll rise up, bring the hands together. And then exhale, you'll fold right back down, bow the chest. Maybe hands to your blocks here, halfway lift, breathe in to lengthen. Big step back with the left foot and drop the knee. Sweep the arms high, inhale, you rise. And exhale, hands coming down to the ground, framing your foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Downward facing dog, you step back. Inhale to plank, pull the chest forward. And then use your exhale to lower all the way down to your belly. Yeah, inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to lower, press back through your knees, downward facing dog. Once in down dog, take a breath in. Clear it out. And then you get to lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Step left foot to your left thumb. Drop the right knee, inhale to rise up, reach up. And then exhale, hands go back down. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, look forward. Step right foot up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, big breath in to lengthen. And exhale, bow the chest, you'll fold right down. Press through your feet, sweep the arms out and up, collect the palms together. Pull them into your heart center, pause here. Maybe even close the eyes, take a breath in. Maybe open the mouth, sigh it out. Do that one more time right here. Really notice the inhale all the way to the top. And get totally empty all the way to the bottom. So that was our first version of what we call Surya Namaskar, which is like a sun salutation. That was your sun salutation C. So we start with C. Not always, but sometimes. Now we'll move on to A. You'll reach your hands all the way up. Take a big breath in, you'll rise. And exhale, fold forward, bow the chest down. Building a little bit more heat here. Halfway lift, big inhale to lengthen. This time, plant your hands, step both feet back, finding plank pose. Use your inhale to stay right here. Use your exhale to lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale to lift your heart. Maybe it's your up dog. You rise a little higher. And then exhale, hips back and up, downward facing dog. You can, of course, press through your knees to lift your hips back. Take a full breath in to stay. Big breath out to empty. Now you'll rise up to your toes. Bend your knees, look to the top of your mat. Either hop feet to hands or two big steps to get there. Halfway lift, big breath in to lengthen. Exhale to fold, bow the chest back down. Press through your feet, sweep the arms out and up, collect the palms together. Pull them into your heart center. We're gonna do one more like that, one more sun A. Rise up, take a breath in, reach up. And exhale, hands to your heart, forward fold. Halfway lift, big breath in. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Now knees on or off the mat. Use your inhale to pull the chest forward. This time, you can lower halfway or all the way down, keeping the chest broad. And then it's up dog or cobra, hips back and up, downward facing dog. Stay here, full breath in, big breath out. Now rise up to your toes, bend your knees, look forward, step or float, feet to hands. Your halfway lift, big breath in. Bow the chest down, forward fold. Press through your feet, sweep arms out and up. Hands to your heart, pause here, a moment of stillness. Find that stillness within even as you breathe in. Breathe out. Thinking of that moment of pause here again as you breathe in. Maybe open the mouth. And then moving on to our last version of Surya Namaskar B. You're gonna reach your hands all the way up, take a big breath in. Now listen for this change, bend your knees, sit back in the chair pose. So this is our biggest heat building Surya Namaskar. So you'll take a breath in right here to stay. And then just use your exhale to fold forward, bow the chest. Your halfway lift reaches your heart forward again. And then plant your hands, step your feet back, plank pose. Knees on or off the mat, you inhale to stay. And then exhale to lower halfway or all the way down to the ground. Your up dog or cobra, find your back bend. And then exhale to send your hips back and up, downward facing dog. Now here, you lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Use your exhale to step your right foot through, but spin your back heel down, rise up, warrior one. So you'll stay here a moment, maybe even heel to that front foot a little bit wider to create space in the hips. Reach your hands up, take a big breath in. You might even look up. Exhale, maybe sink a little bit lower. One more breath in, really using that heat to lift up through your heart. And then exhale, hands come down, step back to plank pose. Take your breath in right here. Lower half or all the way down. Keeping that sense of flow, lift the heart, breathe it. And then exhale to the earth. It's like a moving meditation, downward facing dog. Meet me there. Take a full inhale to stay. Big exhale to empty. Now you get to lift the left leg up and back. Use your exhale, step left foot to your left thumb. Spin your right heel down. Rise up, warrior one. You can heel toe that front foot again a little wider. Maybe sink a little lower. See if you can square the shoulders off and reach through the fingertips. Stay, breathe in. Sink on your exhale. One more inhale to lift the chest a little higher. And then hands come down, step back to plank. Your plank pose on your inhale. Lower half or all the way down as you exhale. Find your up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Pause here. You get 3 rounds of breath in this down dog. Stay here for 3. What can you strengthen, but what can you also soften? 2. Last one. Now you'll rise up to your toes on your inhale. Bottom of the exhale, bend your knees, look forward. 2 big steps, or you hop, feet to hands. Halfway lift, big breath in to lengthen. Exhale to fold, maybe through soft knees. Now right away, I want you to bend your knees, sit back, lift the heart, chair pose. Sink as you breathe out. One more breath in right here. And then you just come to standing, hands at your heart. Ha. Take a breath in to fill up. Open up your mouth. And then maybe place one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly, so you can really start to notice the heat that you've built, right? Your breath responds. Your heartbeat responds. And then see if you can just for a moment slow it down, maybe even close your eyes. Take 3 breaths right here in this moment of pause, in this moment of observation. So using this as that metaphor is like when things are going and going and going, especially this time of year in the holiday season, can you still find that moment to pause?
Maybe it's just taking 3 slow breaths to observe, to feel your body respond, your nervous system responds. Maybe your thoughts, even as a result, respond to your breath, slowing down. Take a breath in. Open up your mouth. One more like that. Breathe all the way in. All the way out. And then start to open your eyes. You can blink your eyes open. Just taking one more simple pose here. So after all of that heat building, can you start to find a little more balance by finding tree pose? So you'll shift the weight into your left foot. And you can bring your right foot to either your calf, your inner thigh, just never on your knee. And if you feel a little wobbly, maybe it's just a kickstand on the ground to your ankle. Now, if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can take one of your blocks. You can step right up on top of it. And then maybe that adds a little bit of a challenge here where you're a little bit higher up off the ground. So wherever you are, you can bring your hands to your heart center to start here. Once you have that shape, that vrikshasana, we call it, your heart or your chest can lift towards your thumb. One steady point in front of you. Keep your eyes there. Take a full inhale. Soften on your exhale. If you want, maybe reach your fingertips up towards the sky for your last breath in. And breath out. And then you just gently release. Stamp that right foot back down. If you're on the block, step off of it. Maybe move it to the other side. Get ready. But take a moment on 2 feet in that mountain pose. Shrug your shoulders as you breathe in. Open your mouth, side out. And then you'll switch to the other side. On or off the block, weight in the right foot. Your left foot comes up wherever it wants to land, just not on the knee, and then maybe hands at your heart. You start. Find that steady gaze. Try not to let your eyes move from that point. And then when you feel ready, grow your tree. So as you are rooting down, you stay grounded. You've like built that foundation of awareness, of breath, of strength. And then you can find that sense of ease as you search towards the light, right? You can really use that as a metaphor. Maybe reach your hands high. Take a full breath in to stay. Breath out. And then whenever you're ready, release it. Stamp the left foot down, step off of the block. You can move it off to the side if you have it. Arms down along your sides, palms face forward. Again, shrug your shoulders as you breathe in. Open your mouth. You empty. And then when you're ready, sweep your arms out and up one last time to reach really high here. And then exhale, we're going to sit back into chair pose. Now, we have to bring in a little bit of lightness, right? So a little bit of fun. So as you sit back in the chair, lift your heart a little higher here. Take a breath in. And then maybe sink a little lower. Breathe in. Sink even lower. You might even start to pick up your heels as you lower your seat towards your heels. And then have a little bit of fun with it. You're gonna land on your seat, land in boat pose. Mine doesn't look as graceful of a transition, but once you're there, maybe your seat lands and your heart lifts. You can reach underneath your knees, or maybe float your feet and float your hands. You're here in boat pose, lifting your chest high here for 3,
Softening shoulders, softening your face too. Last one. And then just bring your right shin or right ankle in front of the left. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a breath in as you inhale. Soften your shoulders as you exhale. And then if you want, you can tilt your hips forward or your pelvis forward. Maybe inch the fingers a little further forward. And then you can just bow the chest if that feels good. You round. You're not here long, just for a breath in. Notice that space or that stretch in the hips as you breathe out. And walk the hands back towards your legs. And then just switch what shin is in front. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe hands to your knees. Reach the crown of your head high. Keep that length as you tip forward. And you fold, you round. Just one breath in. Bigger breath out. And you'll slowly lift your chest back up. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. And if you want to take one of your blocks off to the side in the middle of your mat so you have it once you lie down on your back, you can do that, of course. Slowly start to roll if it feels okay, one vertebra at a time. Or you'll just roll onto your side, find your back. We all meet there. Take a long body stretch for a moment. So reach your arms overhead and point your toes forward, get really long. And then take your arms down along your sides, bend your knees, plant your feet, and then lift your seat up. Now, if you want a supported bridge, you can take your block any height underneath your sacrum and then just let your low back melt onto that block. If you want something more active here, press through your feet, squeeze your glutes as you lift your hips high. Take just one more breath in right here, letting the back of your head stay on the ground. And then you'll slowly let your low back find the earth. So removing that block if you have it. Take your arms out like goalposts. And then maybe just let both knees drop over to the right. Bring them back through center. Let them drop over to the left. And bring them back through center. Hug your knees in towards your armpits here. And you can hold on to your knees, your shins, or grab for your feet for happy baby pose. Whatever feels good, but keep the back of your head on the ground, your low back on the earth. Maybe a little sway side to side. And release your feet or your knees. You'll hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then let your legs go long. Let your arms go down along your sides. Take a big breath in right here, all the way to the top. Open up your mouth, soften the jaw, soften your toes, soften your fingers, your face. As this is your ultimate pause, your final rest. Rather than thinking about it only as a luxury, think about the idea of rest being a necessity, that foundation that you build. You're literally on the ground. So see if you can stay here.
in observation, right? Not needing to react to your thoughts, to your to-do list. It will still be there. Give yourself that gift or that permission to be right here. Just for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Now, without it being a rush, can you deliberately take that slow breath in, just a little bit bigger than the last? Slow breath out. And with intention, can you find a little more movement in your fingers? A little more movement in your toes. Might even rock your head side to side. And if you need one last long body stretch here, think of it like a yawn. This physical yawn of your whole body. Take it. When you're ready, bend your knees. Roll to the side of your choice. And then you'll slowly press yourself up to a seat. Keep your eyes heavy if you can, or closed, just to lessen the distractions. And start to bring your hands together at your heart. And really just notice, observe the connection between both palms. And maybe come back to that idea of building the foundation, that moment or that feeling of pause or rest. What does that look like for you? Is it more time with yourself? Is it more present time with those around you, those close to you? Maybe just become familiar with that, or set it as what we would call an intention for this time. Maybe for the rest of today or this week, the rest of this year. Take a breath in. Clear it out. And then just take your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Letting this practice, as always, no matter what it looks like, letting it be a practice of kindness to yourself. So you can share that kindness in your own way with others. Namaste. Happy Monday. Happy winter solstice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was lovely.